Okay, so recap. Gosh, what happened last week, guys?
We just fought a giant boar and won.
Yes.
Not to mention,
Yeah, went up
Bears
2
and
levels,
capped the
casually.
We capped the herd.
I might have tuned that encounter a little bit too much. Turns out bears and giant boars give a lot more XP than I was expecting. You guys dinged. You guys dinged to level 2, just from the wolves.
Oh
Wow.
shit.
Alright, is push the
The
dog
bears-
working now?
Wow.
Like, real quick?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it's working.
Not sure why that didn't work.
So yeah, so the party has leveled up to level 3.
I
And,
remember before falling asleep.
They
you getting
just
your metal?
finished
Oh,
their
alright.
encounter with the mysterious one-eyed wolf,
Yeah, here it goes.
who seemingly disappeared at some point during the attack. Oh goodness, what was the name of the?
the halfling.
Yeah, what was his name again? I will find it soon.
Derek.
Derek, it is
yeah,
Derek.
that's it.
Yes,
Dirk.
Derek, the wagon driver. So Derek, the halfling, who has been your coach driver, who has been driving you guys in his caravan along the road to Winchester, was mauled by a bear during the attack. However, he was stabilized and revived and healed. And I believe you were all about to set off back onto the road to finish the last leg of your journey. From here, just showing the visual aid, just outside the town of Lumber, towards the town of Allsworth, which is the town just before Winchester by water, the ultimate destination for this journey. You are making good time. You are on set to meet your punctuality bonus. And yeah, I believe you sorted out. We went through the night.
Yeah, just in time, man.
The rest of the night was uneventful, and you had your breakfast. That was right.
Yep.
So let's say that we're going to start today on the road. So you've just set off, and you're back now on the road. So the party is now slowly moving away from the enormous, endless firewood that you can. You're basically now leaving that behind you, further and further as you go. And for the most part, the day is uneventful. However, goodness. Let me just catch up to where I am in the notes. Yes. Okay. So, roughly around midday, before you come to that river, which you can see on your map, so you haven't come to the river yet. However, it's around midday. You notice that Derek stops the cart, and you see why. Looking ahead in the road, you see a felled tree that lies across the road, and what looks to be the body of a horse lying somewhat in front of the tree. And Derek immediately stops, and he turns around to you, and he says, "This doesn't look good. I don't like the look of this.
I agree.
Could one of you guys go check that out?"
Well, we've been traveling for an hour in my favorite terrain, right?
Yes. What advantages does that give you again as a ranger?
Actually, that doesn't really help us yet. In difficult terrain, it doesn't slow our group down.
No.
Can't become lost.
I don't think those things really apply when you're on the road.
It's mostly when you're doing like checks, survival checks, and various things, tracking.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we do remain alert to danger, I guess.
Yeah. So if Derek hadn't noticed somehow, even though he is literally watching the road as he drives, you guys would have been alert to this before any potential danger happened. But no, the caravan's come to a stop.
Okay, who wants to go and check it?
Alright, anyone want to come with? I think we should go together, maybe.
Yeah,
I'll come.
I'll go.
Okay. So who's going? Is everyone going, or is some people staying back?
I'm staying on the cart because I was awake all night,
Okay.
and I'm trying to rest a bit.
Oh, you're right.
That's true. That is true. You are exhausted, yes, because you stayed watch.
Yeah, I'll
The
go
cart,
check.
just for reference, guys, the cart is 100 feet back from the fallen tree.
Okay.
and the
Okay.
dead horse.
Ooh.
So yeah, so
That seems
as
relevant
you
somehow.
approach, I would like you all to make whoever's approaching make perception checks.
Alright, let's get a per character.
Oh god.
See you guys. I'll stay here.
Yeah, Dusty's not paying attention.
Oh shit.
I do shout after them. Please, if you need my help, shout.
Sure. What's Kieran doing? Is Kieran staying behind?
Yeah, Kieran's gonna stay behind with
Okay, no worries.
Mithrix.
Bogador, in your favorite train,
Yep.
you can see fine. The other two, maybe not so great, but you can see that there is a shaft, an arrow shaft, sticking out of the neck of the dead horse. Just one. Small pool of blood underneath the body, wet.
Fresh kill.
Yeah, seems fresh.
I'm taking that arrow, by the way.
Well, you're not there yet. This
No.
is what you see as you approach. Very quiet for the most part. At this point, you are on alert for an ambush. Looking around, you don't see any ambushers lying in wait. All you see is that dead horse, the fallen tree, and the arrow sticking out of it. Out of the horse. You're maybe 60 feet off, I'd say.
I'm gonna walk up to it. If I can't
Keep
see any
approaching.
ambushes or anything like that, I'm gonna
Yeah.
approach you.
I assume all three of you are approaching together?
Yep.
Okay, so the three of you approach, nothing happens, you get to the horse. It's indeed a very fresh kill. Bogador, you lay a hand on it, and it's actually still fairly warm. Certainly not set, like a fully set corpse,
Yeah.
So, how is the scene again? There's like the tree straight across the road, and there's the horse.
Yeah.
Was there like any sign of there being a carriage attached to the horse? Or
No.
is there a saddle on it?
No. If you're gonna, I would make the three of you now start to make investigation checks to kind of see what's happened here. Just trying if you can find evidence, piece things together.
It's certainly not me.
Investigation.
but you kept your eyes open real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dusty and Syre, you single arrow wound that you can see. Horse went down, pretty much instantly dead. Tossed a rider. You can see it's fairly damp soil. Certainly not dust. It's quite a wet climate around here, so it is relatively damp. So you can see the impact at the ground where he landed. Syra, I'd actually say your investigation check's high enough to see that whoever it was seemingly either very heavy or heavily armored. Landed, got to their feet, and then you see a pair of footprints sprinting off towards the like tree line. The tree line is the bushes and trees kind of line the whole road on both sides. Maybe 30 feet off the road on either side.
Is there like any blood tracks following the footsteps?
No. The pool of blood. It's just a pool of blood. The rider might not have touched the blood. The blood might have pooled after the rider had sprinted after probably whoever fired the arrow.
Speaking of that
there's no
arrow,
blood tracks.
I'm taking the arrow.
Pulling it out. Actually, interesting. Could you make a
Oh no.
Acrobatic.
no? What skill would that be?
Animal handling.
Yeah.
I know it's dead, but still.
History. Check on the arrow.
History.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, this is just Bogador because he's the one with the arrow. 13. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say that's enough. Also, I think you get double proficiency in your favorite train, but I don't know if that would be... No, that wouldn't be to do with this. No, never mind. It's not related to the train. That is a goblin arrow.
Ooh.
You can tell.
I'm immediately going to tell the group. Oi, this is a goblin arrow, not made by a human, nor an elf, nor an orc.
Oh, interesting. And also, the rider seems to have survived, and the tracks are kind of leading off to the forest edge.
Do you reckon we go after him, or should we just clear the path and get on with the job?
At this point, I'd say Bogador, seeing as your perception check was highest initially, you can now hear rustling coming from the bushes and panting breath, and a single goblin starts rushing out of the bushes straight at you guys. I want everyone to roll initiative. I'm going to throw the turn order out.
Us too?
Yes, you'll see. I mean, he's come out of the tree line. The goblin might be, let's say, 120 feet away, well within it. It's middle of the day.
Okay, so there's a problem. We need to have our character selected, but there's no map for us to select it to add to our.
We're doing impromptu battle here, so there's not going to be a map for this.
But still,
sometimes
people
I'll
need
do
to
this.
have their character selected to roll the initiative.
You can just do that by selecting your character from the drop down, I believe.
No,
Is
I
that right?
added it to the map, and I kind of selected it still. I can't see where it is,
We'll
but
pull. I'm gonna pull. You know what?
Doesn't seem
Doesn't
to
really
work.
matter. A spear comes flying out of the bushes and impales the goblin.
Oh shit.
Yeah, combat over, guys. Well done.
Yes!
Good initiative.
Easy game, easy life.
I would have role played that out a little bit more, but the Roll20 was not making that particularly easy, and it really wasn't worth having you guys spend 5 minutes figuring out how to get the turn order up for combat that wasn't really going to happen. Striding out of the bushes behind the goblin, maybe 20 feet back, you see a human individual in pretty ornate leather armor.
Leather.
Yeah, ornate leather armor, multicolored, like not bright colors, maybe like matte and darker tone colors, but you can see in his armor various colors, and he just comes kind of like strolling out of the bushes, focused on the goblin at first that he tagged, but he does see you eventually and hails you. Oh, greetings, travelers! Greetings.
Afternoon.
Fortunate
Good day.
I saw you. My horse is dead, so yes, I would like to inquire about some travel. This music's a little bit
So
loud.
you were the one that the goblins attacked them.
Oh yeah. The give me a second. I'm trying to adjust the volume here.
I assume that was your
That's-
spear.
That's better. Okay. Yes, that was my spear. And yeah, me and Peggy just traveling along the road to Winchester, and I see the tree. I wasn't really paying attention. I fall for the oldest buck in the game, the old goblin ambush. Just arrow comes flying out the bushes, gets her straight in the neck, and Peggy's been with me for 2 years at this point. I'm really torn up about this, but I got them all. Made the boogers pay. So, yeah, I'm in the business for some travel.
You got them all, you say. How many of them were there?
Dozen odd?
You killed them all on your own?
Oh yeah.
That's quite
They're only
impressive,
goblins.
so-
Well,
Impressive.
I am a bit impressive. You can
I
see
like
now
this
he has closed the gap, and you can see slung over a shoulder. You see multicolored javelins popping out.
Ooh.
Could you all make nature checks? Because now he's about now he's close to you guys.
Never mind.
Missing a nature check, I think, Kieran.
Yeah.
You with us, Kieran? There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so the more observant among you see that they are multicolored scales. So each javelin and his armor itself is adorned with multicolored scales. You see blue, you see green, you see red.
Sorry, did anybody else cut out then?
For me, did I cut out for anyone else?
Yeah, you cut out for me.
No one.
Did?
Did anyone else hear me cut out? Okay. I'm just going to keep talking, David. If you miss anything, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
So, you've never seen dragon scales before. Either these are imitation or the real thing, you're not sure. But it certainly seems to be very evocative of dragon scale. He has over his back, other than the pouch of javelins, he has a longer spear, much longer, very ornate. A spear, a dragon's head carved into the hilt where the blade comes out. Long spear, completely just covered in ornate blue scales. Looks absolutely, looks like it would cost a fortune. And yeah, he's got really nice boots as well. He's really decked out. You can see, like, upon inspection, this guy, dozen goblins would not have stood a chance. This guy is a pro. So yeah, he seems a bit down. Obviously, his horse just got, and
Quite cheery when he spoke to us.
yeah, he is. He's a bit down, but at the same time, he's also kind of a fairly bubbly character.
Okay.
So yeah, he kind of. I mean, Derek's. You've all met up now at the caravan, and he inquires. Caravan driver. Caravan driver. Sorry. Do you have another spot for another passenger? I'm just heading towards, well, Winchester for now. My destination is Stormby Peaks. I don't suppose you're going that far, are you? No, sorry. My business is in Winchester. I'm going to be in Winchester for about a week. To which the man replies, "Oh, that's fine. As long as I can get to Winchester, I can arrange travel from there. I mean, I could also arrange travel from Allsworth if you really don't have the room, but you know, it's probably about a 2-day walk from here to Allsworth. So I would be willing to pay a fairly, you know, a very solid price for some."
Definitely no talking to yourself like this can be.
Oh, sure. Don't worry about it.
I
5
should
gold will
probably
see
say
you there. We're
something,
not that far
but
anyway.
I'm a
It's
bit
just the rest of the
amused by
day until Allsworth. If you want to go to Winchester, it'll be another 5 gold day after. And the man replies, "Perfect." And he kind of just slings his gear into the back and hops in.
At this point, can I try and go into a trance so I could take a... Oh wait, no, we're stopping over in a town, aren't we?
Yeah, no. This is just by
Okay.
the side of the road.
No, I was going to say go into a trance so I could stay up later on.
Oh, right.
I mean, how
once you're
far
back on the
are
road,
we away from the town, Winchester?
half a day. You made half a day's journey already. Something that neither Derek or the man has thought about at this point is the fact that there's a tree in the road.
We might need to move that.
Oh!
Yeah.
Where did that come from, may I ask?
You can see the stump off the side of the road. It's it's just been felled onto the road from the side of the road.
Now, is Jimmy strong enough to push the tree?
Possibly. Speaking of, throughout the night, Bogador, and the morning, you feel like Jimmy respects you a bit more now. Kind of like you've leveled up enough to train him.
The real progression.
Yes.
This is why I'm here.
Would you kindly take a look at your journal?
Where is it?
Just in your journal, where your character is, you should now see a second character.
Just a quick question. What's the name of the guy with the javelins?
We don't
You haven't
know.
asked.
We haven't asked.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't see where I can't see where my journal is.
Did I give that to the wrong person, perhaps?
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
gonna
give us me
ask.
crab back.
You know where your character sheet is.
By the way, I don't think we caught your name.
Oh, my name. Oh, sure, yeah.
Yes.
I am Royce Hemingworth. Royce Hemingworth.
Race Hemingworth. Well, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, pal.
Could
I
you all
am
make
Zaire.
history? Could you all make history checks?
Mhm.
Oh shit.
Okay, that'll do it. That
Nice.
20 will do it. Actually, both are
20 and
20s. Yeah. No, you know the name, actually. He is an adventurer of great repute who specifically made his name during the Great Dragon Hunt about 8 years ago.
Oh, you that bloke that killed a load of fucking Quirin's mum.
You didn't get that, Bogador. Only Syra and Kirin put that together.
Race,
Karen's probably
it was
looking at
Royce
him really
Hemingworth.
suspiciously.
Gives him the eye.
Yeah, he's getting the eye for sure.
You
It was Royce Hemingworth.
just a bit of Dragonborn lore. What was that? Syra?
What was the name again? Royce Hemingworth?
Yeah, Royce Hemingworth.
Alright. Huh. That's quite a name. You got there.
Just a bit of Dragonborn lore. Dragons and Dragonborn are not the same thing.
Right, right.
I don't
You know,
know.
but I know I'm just being purposely
Yeah,
horrible.
Kirin and the party can have their own opinions on the matter, but I am just saying that, generally speaking, chromatic dragons are seen as evil entities.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it takes a brave man to stick his dick in a dragon.
Oh boy.
It's a
Oh my
compliment.
God.
I still can't see Jimmy, by the way, if I click in bio and info.
No, it's not in your character sheet. Pull out to Roll20
Mm-hmm.
in your journal, in the journal tab. you see the character Bogador.
I can see it. I can see
Jimmy has his own character sheet, so feel free to peruse that.
+4 stealth, he's a giant crab.
Nice.
Or be self pluses, it's weird. I think it's just like a dex thing. I think it's basically he has proficiency in it.
In the right situation.
Oh,
I mean,
he's
You could
claustrophobic.
beat him.
Yeah, he can look like a rock if he puts his head down in the swamp.
Let's do it.
Really, I've never.
Oh, sorry, I just want to read this out. My best friend is Boggo
That's the first time
Green
I heard
Boy.
that, actually.
Aww. I love him because he fish in the special water. That makes me happy.
I did put
get
some
my
cheese.
crab drunk. That's
I-
fantastic.
I wondered if you would give him any.
Yeah. I filled that character sheet in with some fun stuff.
By the way, guys, sorry,
My
was
niece
it
Jimmy and I like to
Hemingworth or
bubble.
Hemingsworth? I'm asking the party.
Hemingworth, I think.
Hemingworth.
Yeah,
Hemingworth. Okay, thank you.
yeah, maybe slightly.
So did either of the two people? Monk, you were striking up a conversation, right?
Yeah, kind
With
of. Yeah.
him. Yeah. So sorry, go back to that.
Okay, so Royce Hemingworth, you don't say. I actually heard quite a bit about you. Quite Dragon Slayer, aren't you?
He kind of looks a little bit bashful. It's like, yeah, you know, yeah.
I'm pretty cool.
My name did the rounds a few years back, so you probably know it from then. I haven't really done much since, just kind of, doing my job. But yeah, you might have heard of me.
Alright, well, yeah. It's a pleasure to
He's
meet
trying
you.
really hard not to be like, he's trying to be humble. But...
Would you like to see our boar head?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
we killed a boar.
oh yeah, that's
We have our own trophy.
yeah,
yeah,
that looks. I bet that thing had some tasty meat.
It did, actually.
It's okay.
I love boar.
Did we bring some extras?
I believe you guys still have enough extra boar meat for the road.
Nice.
I believe.
Yeah, we did-
you
we
did.
did.
Yeah, isn't it about
I mean, I
time
just
to have
skipped
supper?
ahead, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you can eat, but you still have a giant tree in the road.
Well, yeah, let's worry about that after eating. Yeah.
Just cook a fire on it.
It's not a giant tree. It's a regular sized tree trunk.
We all lift it together. Kind of Royce
You
lifted.
can-
Nope.
Yeah, let's.
Staying on this.
No, I'm gonna tell Jimmy to move the log.
Okay, can you roll a strength check for Jimmy, please?
Uh-huh.
Athletics check.
Athletics.
Yeah. 10. He okay, so he clamps onto the tree trunks with his claws. He has a good grip, but he's struggling. He's kind of weighed down a bit at the minute.
Alright.
He's really struggling. He's also struggling to get traction.
I'm gonna go.
I'll help him
I'm gonna
out.
go over and help. I'm gonna go over and
Okay.
help him as well.
Well, anyone planning to help roll athletics checks?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck
Oh
yeah.
shit, nice. Wait, you already rolled yours?
No, that
Or
was
is
for
it-
the,
No,
that was for the
that
crowd.
was
That
for
was for
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Oh, so it was, yeah.
I'm
Is that
still
everyone?
sleeping on the.
Okay. Yeah. So you're managing to shift it bit by bit. The problem is that so you've managed to roll it half off the road. However, the top of the tree, all of the branches and leaves, they're still on the road now. Most of the trunk has been managed to roll off. However, it's like catching into the ground now. The branches are like kind of catching in, and you can't push it anymore. It's kind of like scraping in. So
Okay.
you're gonna have to do something about like all of these smaller branches that are on the road.
Oi, Asmo, set them on fire for us.
Is that,
I snort awake. What?
You want to set these branches on
Well,
fire so you
actually-
can get moving, please?
Do we have prestidigitation? You can
no,
just
I
clean it
don't-
up real quick.
I don't want to
It's
do that.
way
I don't
too big a
wanna-
job for prestidigitation. It's at the
Alright,
top of
fair.
the tree.
I don't want to get enforced. I don't want to start a forest fire.
No, you're no
It
fun.
won't start a forest fire. I mean,
You're
well,
in the middle of the road. It's fine. Come on.
yeah, it's
Fine.
pretty isolated. You can
Fine,
see
I'll send a fireball.
a single
Oh,
fireball
that was easy.
from the wagon. That's 100
Well,
foot
I was
range.
thinking a fireball, a ball, not a firebolt. All right.
He does not. He's a level 3. He does not have access
Ah,
to
damn
fireball.
it.
He has firebolt.
Yeah.
Let me just check. No, that's not what I wanted. Why is it rolling the? Here we go.
I didn't fall. See how much damage I do to the tree? For the fire
100.
damage.
Okay, so you've started a small fire, but the wood itself is not particularly dry. It's a still
Oh,
living tree. It's really not catching.
Should I
What
send a
was
few?
environment you said?
You can send a few, but you're gonna be here for a while, and also it's gonna have to burn all the way through. I'd say after about 5 minutes of hooking bolts into the tree, you realize that maybe this isn't the best course of action.
You tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
You,
try.
you've
good
made
try.
some progress. You've certainly made some progress.
You know what? I'll just use that.
The Mage Hand is basically a single hand.
I know, but I'm just moving. I don't understand.
Okay,
Get
so
off
he
this.
basically he's got a Mage Hand now, snapping small twigs off the tree and throwing them into a pile on the ground. It's
That
doing
works.
practically nothing.
I love the
I'm
fact that-
trying.
I love the fact that we've got a living
helping.
legend in our carriage with us, and the first thing we try and do is we use the giant crabs to try and move it, and then when we realise it's not
Come on,
moving,
guys.
we just go
Solutions.
set it on fire.
You have a problem. What are the solutions here? Come on.
We could
Basically, you have a gigantic hedge you need to get rid of in the way. I mean, I say hedge. It's basically just a big ball of twigs and leaves. The
Oh,
main
and it's on
trunk,
fire right now.
the main trunk is off the road. If you can kind of cut through the all of the branches and leaves, you can make a path.
Yo, let's ask Royce. He's not helping us. Come on. This is because of you.
Well, I mean, no, it's technically not because I mean, I can help if you. It does
I
look
would
like you need some
appreciate
help. Okay, so Royce hops off the cart and heads over. He's like,
fucking idiots.
kind of looking
You
at
do
it,
this yourself.
and he just takes out his big old spear and starts cutting branches off. Like, guys, this really isn't my specialty. Like,
I'm
I have
gonna.
a
Quick
Warhammer.
work,
Can I
just a quick
chop
work.
some wood?
Well, you're
Yeah.
better at it than me. I said and I wave my one hand.
fair point there, my friend. Fair point there. I mean, come on, does none of you have any magic or? I mean, what about that thing? And he points at the giant crab.
I've just told him to move it. He can't
Yeah,
do
you
it.
just saw him try. I mean,
Yeah, but he's got big snippers.
See, I was
Oh,
wondering about
oh
that.
yeah,
I didn't
get
think they
him
did
to
that
work, man.
Jimmy,
Look at that.
snap it into several different pieces for us, please, mate. I'll give you some special water later. And I give him a little nudge.
Special water.
He's kind of blowing bubbles at you,
Yeah.
You kind of get the impression, Bogador. Might need to simplify that command a little bit.
Oi, Jimmy, snip, snip, big log.
He starts cutting at the log,
There you
the
go.
tree trunk.
Nice.
He starts. Well, no, he's snipping grooves into the tree trunk, not
Oh,
the
shit.
branches.
I have no one that has an axe.
Well, you probably cut some branches too.
I've got.
You're
an
gonna.
axe.
He's.
You have an axe?
Thanks for
He's got
dying.
2 axes. He's got 2
What
axes.
do you mean? No one thought of an axe.
Maybe I
At this
did.
point,
I don't
at
have
this
any.
point, Derek
Yeah, I
comes
don't
out,
have
guys.
anything that I can cut, like anything.
I'm gonna
at all.
say it's been about 20 minutes since the wagon stopped. He's like, guys, we're starting to fall behind here.
Kieran is really
Come on, people have
enjoying
swords,
watching
right?
all of this.
I
Yeah,
have one
I'm
more.
on-
Kieran, you have a sword.
I do have a sword.
Cut
Use
some
it.
shit up.
They kind of just roll their eyes and walk over.
Yo, do you want
And
the
I guess,
bonus or not?
do I need to do a great sword attack?
No, you don't need to do attacks. It's basically just like I'm working out based on what you guys are doing how long this task is going to take you. So yeah, you.
Okay, I'll go
Bogador,
towards him,
what's
start
Bogador
helping.
doing?
Could I ask one
I'm
thing?
gonna try and
Sure.
start cutting it into smaller sections with my hand axe.
I'm just
Yes.
wondering, could I do this? I'm just done with it. Just shatter it.
Shatter?
I just want to shatter
okay.
it. Into...
How do you shatter it? Are you going to tell people to stand back?
Yeah, I tell everyone to get the fuck away from me.
Okay.
Jesus Christ!
Is anyone not taking that advice?
No, I'm backing the fuck away, and I told
I'm
Oi, Jimmy, move
Back
over here.
up.
When the mage tells
So-
us to back away, I back away.
What's the area on that? 60. It's not a 60-foot area, surely.
It'd be a bit OP.
Hang on, let me just dig in, find it, shatter.
Like, I assume that means it can be cast from 60 feet away.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yes, it's a range of 60 foot and a 10-foot radius sphere. Perfect. Okay. Erupts on a point. Disadvantage. A non-magical object takes a damage. Perfect. Yeah. So you drop the shatter, and there's an explosion of twigs and debris. You basically you just shear through this entire thing. That's exactly what you needed.
Well,
you do that before?
that works.
There is a lot of crap on the ground now, a lot of sharp branches, but you do think that if you clear the floor, just sweep some of those branches to the side of the road, that you could actually get the caravan kind of around it without
Alright.
too much difficulty.
I help out with that.
So shadow work? Sorry, I got
Finally,
a
something I can do.
Yeah, that works. Take off second level spell.
Does Jimmy eat twigs?
Well, he's nibbling on some.
Yeah.
Aw.
Good boy, Jimmy.
Jimmy looks proud. At this point he's worn maybe like 3-inch grooves where he's been snipping the tree trunk, kind of like 3 feet away from the top of the tree where you needed him to be doing it. And he looks proud of himself, like he helped.
Good boy,
Bless his
Jimmy.
heart.
Okay, so I'm going to say that you're back on the road. The whole detour took about 30 minutes. Derek reckons you should still be able to, a bit later, but you should still be able to make it to destination in time. So you're now back on the road. At this point, Royce is kind of happily chatting away, swapping some stories. I assume some of you are asking him about the dragon hunts, and he's kind of telling you in a very kind of... You get the impression that he's downplaying this kind of stuff, but he is kind of filling you in on those events. Basically, this is relatively common knowledge. 8 years ago, huge swarm of dragons of all colors swarmed out of a certain mountain range in the north of Midrealm, and just scattered in all of the directions. Various sizes, various colors. People don't, and Royce can't really add to this, people don't really know why. However, a state of emergency was called, and basically all hands from the Adventurers Guild were called in to basically take part in this huge dragon hunt, where hundreds of dragons were killed and rounded up. During that time, a lot of damage was caused by the dragons. It's thought that like tens of dragons of various sizes managed to escape into the wilderness and hide away somewhere. However, you know, in the years since, there has been sightings and contracts going out here and there to kind of mop up the remainder of them. But yeah, vast majority either left Midrealm because it was relatively close to the border into other lands, or has been cleaned up since. But a few adventurers did make names for themselves during that hunt.
Does he know why the dragons attacked?
No.
Are they absolutely all gone?
He says probably not. We didn't manage to get them all, and you know, dragons are fairly smart creatures. The older they get, the smarter they get. You know, I think it also depends on the color. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, it's certainly possible that some of them. The thing is though, the important thing is though, there hasn't been a dragon attack in 3 years. If there are any left out there, they know to keep their heads down.
Their intelligence actually depends a fair bit on like what color they are. Like some of them are way more savage, and yeah.
That is a little bit metagamey because your character wouldn't necessarily be really clued up on dragons.
I'm just like.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And yeah, he does give you at the very least that basic info. Like yes, there is differences between the colors of dragons. Yeah, and you can see he's got lots of different colors of dragon in his leather armor and his weaponry.
This campaign.
So yeah, he kind of takes. He's also asking you questions, you guys questions about where you've been, where you've come from, and you answer questions you feel comfortable answering. You know, it's pretty much the same stuff you've told each other. He's very curious about.
I'm trying to listen a bit too, but yeah, what's up?
He spends a fair bit of time talking to Bogador about him and Jimmy. But the day moves on, and you get closer and closer to Allsworth. You eventually cross a fairly big river. One of the many rivers that lead into Lake Winchester.
I'm actually getting my
I would say
magic arm
10 minutes
this episode.
after crossing the bridge.
I'm kind of playing
Derek
as a siren
stops
monk, actually.
caravan again.
And I started out
this
as a
time,
guy without an arm, and I finally get to
he turns around in his seat and he
and
says back to the party, who was in the middle of a conversation, not
David
super actively watching the road and that lot. He says, I think there's a kid by the road. And he kind of points that way. He's looking.
So
Perception checks, please.
is louder than me?
Oh wait, no, that's Jimmy. Hang on.
Jimmy's more perceptive than me.
It's not David. His mic is activated all the time for some reason.
Yeah.
Alright, perception. Give me a second.
I wouldn't roll for Jimmy in stuff like this.
I know. I done it by accident.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, it's Elder Roads.
Yeah, the 20s both spot the kid. It's basically an unconscious child or a still child lying by the road. Again, probably about 100 feet away from the cart.
Well, I ain't going to it. I don't like kids.
Alright. I kind of head up to him in a.
Yeah. This time, Derek's coming with.
Kieran's coming too.
Yeah. Okay. You approach the child without incident, and the child is face down in the ground.
Oh shit.
Okay. I reach out and turn him around.
Sure. He is very dirty, bruised, grazed. Lots of that's what you can see on the surface. Could you guys
catch you later,
do
man. Good luck with
medicine
Final Fantasy
checks?
VII.
Whoever's
I'm
going
sure
over
you're gonna
there,
have a lot
do
of fun.
medicine checks for me, please.
Alright, medicine check.
Lovely. Kieran, he's alive, unconscious, really not healthy at all. You can tell from his shallow breathing. He's got lots and lots of cuts all over his lower legs and knees, mud all over him. You think he's probably been living rough for a number of days.
Alright, a little bit so.
Yeah, he's just completely unconscious.
Can I lay on hands on him?
Yeah, how many points do you want to put in, just for good measure?
Like 2, I guess.
2. Okay, so you call down that healing energy, the light, and it passes into him, and You can see some color return to him. However, he is very thin. He doesn't necessarily come back to consciousness straight away. His eyelids do flutter and open, and he murmurs and then kind of goes limp again. You get the impression that he is severely malnourished. And while you've brought him some healing, you know, there's other problems here that need taken care of, other than just, healing. But he's back from the brink. He's awake, just like basically out. You know, you could feed him and give him water.
Nah.
Well, yeah, let's do that.
I'm gonna pick him up and carry him back to the cart.
Sure. So you carefully lift him up and carry him over to the cart. No incident. I'm going to assume that you've rolled perception checks on that and just said that, like, passive perception-wise, you're not picking anything up. Doesn't have the feel of ambush, even though the music's kind of tense. It's just roadside music. Yeah, no, it doesn't have the feel of ambush. Not like last time. Last time is pretty textbook. So yeah, you're getting back to the wagon. What do you do now?
Do I see the kid?
Yeah, so you're looking, I assume, unless you're not, but I assume otherwise.
I was
you
still
don't
on.
need to
I was
stay.
still on the cart because I did the spell and I went back to sleep.
I think.
Yeah, we're on the cart now.
Alright.
At some point, Asmodean, I'm going to get you to roll a Constitution check to see if you could actually get some sleep on the cart, and see if you can knock off some of that exhaustion.
Okay.
But we'll finish. We'll proceed with the current narrative. So you're going to try and feed him. You kind of have to, spoon feed him a bit, but yeah, you do manage to get some food into him, and again, you see more life returning into him, and he kind of stirs to basically to full consciousness.
I need to know one thing. Was it boar meat that we gave him?
I just assume it was whatever was lying around.
It has to be
Maybe
that special boar meat that's really the best.
I'm just going to say general food, not enough to take off any rations or any prepared food, just whatever you had lying around. Royce and Derek are both looking on in concern, very approving of the care that's being shown in reviving the child. And he does. He stirs. And you can see he's still kind of out of it, but he looks up at you, Kieran, and he just says, "Mummy, where's Mummy?"
Okay. What is your name?
My name's Philip. I got lost in the woods.
How long have you been out here?
About 5 nights.
Where do you live, Philip?
I live in. Me and my family live in Allsworth. Wait, is that right?
That's back where we came from, right?
No, that's where you're heading.
We're heading there.
You're about
okay. What's full name?
4 hours away.
Newcaster. Let me check on the map.
Check the map.
Yeah. You're heading to Allsworth now. You've just crossed that river between Lumber and Allsworth, so you're fairly close. It's maybe about 5 o'clock, sun starting to set.
Just wondering.
Any more questions?
Just wondering, because I leveled up, could I summon another pillow for the kid?
No. You could, however,
I'll give him my pillow.
Conjure a pillow for him
I'll conjure
with your new ability, your new conjuration ability.
Oh yeah. I'll do that. Minor conjuration.
Yeah.
Philip, we're headed there now, so hopefully you get to see your mom soon.
Thank you. And
Where
he's really out of it. It's basically, he'll respond to questions, but he's not in a talkative mood.
How did you get out here?
I was playing in the woods and I couldn't find my way back to my house, and I just kept running
Oh, man,
and
it's
I
kinda
think I was
loud.
just getting further and further away.
The music volume very slow.
Why were you running so fast?
Well, I got scared and I wanted to get back to mum and dad, and I just ran and I couldn't. The more I ran, the more I got lost, and eventually I found the river. I followed the river, and I found the road, and I was just so tired I couldn't keep going.
You've been there for 5 days.
I think so.
You've had nothing sweet or drink.
I ate some berries and a bug, but it was really gross.
Yeah, I bet.
Does anybody know, because I passed up on the opportunity to learn this spell, can anybody check and see if he's poisoned?
There was a medicine check done, which did not reveal any signs of
Yeah.
poisoning.
Well,
Malnutrition was what came back.
I gotta take a bathroom break and get something to eat as well. Could we possibly take a small break, or I can just go and come back in a bit?
Sure, yeah, we can take a quick break, 5 minutes, shall we say?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay.
Alright,
Beautiful.
back in a bit.
No, I'm
Okay.
gonna go use the bathroom.
How do you do? Oh, same thing.
Exact thing.
You actually managed to get a bit of a nap. It's not a full rest, so you haven't recovered spell slots. However, I will say that you can just about shake that exhaustion. You've had maybe 3 hours of a nap on the road, so you're not working with that point of exhaustion, but you are very tired still and really looking forward to a nice comfy bed tonight.
Yeah.
Right, perfect. This will do. Okay, so is everyone here? Roll call. Jared.
Yep.
I heard Hatsu. I heard Mithrix. Jared, are you here? David? Monk?
I'm here.
Okay, I think just Jared. It's not your push to talk or anything, Jared. You're definitely not here.
Jared's
Okay.
gay. No, he's not yet.
You know, I have heard that.
Ooh. Wait, he's actually gay.
I don't know. Honestly, I said.
I
what
wasn't
was
trying,
it?
I wasn't trying to be mean.
I tweeted, I don't want to go to work today, I want to stay home and be gay. And Jared said same.
Oh, I
And
remember
said-
that.
I said, oh, I didn't know you were gay. And I think he replied with like a heart emoji or something. I'd call that open-ended. I don't think he is, but we could always use more gays.
Damn right.
I can't get Alex Jones off my head now. I don't want to put chemicals in the water to turn the friggin' frogs gay.
I would love a gay frog so much. That would make the best pet. Ribbits.
God, I saw the worst picture of a frog on Tumblr today. It had like a snake in its throat, and the
Ugh.
snake's head was like peering out like it was screaming.
Oh,
Didn't
wow.
the
Okay.
scientists make like a see-through frog that you can so you don't have to actually dissect them?
I wouldn't say probably.
Possibly. I mean, see-through creatures exist. Jared! Still not back. I don't think it's been 5 minutes yet, though. I think we might... Well, maybe it has, or just about getting there. But I'm cool with it. I'm making a battle map. I thought I was going to have time to make today, but god damn it. There's so much traffic.
Got this done. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, David,
Surprised my parents
playing
hadn't
this
done
now will definitely help in future trying to put games together. Now
I'm
you actually know the rules.
I'm definitely going to need some advice off you. I think my friend Ryan's going to be DMing, but obviously it'd be nice if I had a little bit more experience so I could help him out.
Sure. Ah, fuck.
Ooh, more games? I'm in.
That's a IRL. I mean, if you can make your way down to Scoutland.
No, that's I just add a laptop. I'm there.
What's wrong with
That's-
Liverpool, lad?
I think there's more drug addicts in Liverpool than Amsterdam.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Know.
Yeah, you're right.
Best place to get a bike is go to the local train station and ask a
Fall
junkie.
into yourself. Let's make that one strong. Okay, these are these.
It's fun. When you lose your bike, you get someone because it's got stolen. You just get another one of the junkies to steal another one for you. So it's like everyone's bike is actually stolen.
It's not too far away from Liverpool, actually.
Yeah, pretty much any town with shit tons of bikes. They just get
There's
stolen like crazy.
There's always an alpha fella who sits in the corner of the bar who can sort you out with fucking anything.
No, fuck, wrong number.
Oh, it's actually ridiculous. Like those electric bikes are actually being people are being stalked. They see people on those like expensive electric bikes, then they're being stalked by like people, and then follow to their home, and then they later get stolen out of the actual.
Good lord.
Yeah.
Right, perfect. That'll do for now.
Right, Jared is still not here, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. I assume he would have messaged us by now. I'm gonna DM him on Twitter. Nope.
How did your Pokemon tournament go anyway?
Oh, my Pokemon tournament.
I'm sorry.
Ah, Jared's back. That's a DM.
My Pokemon tournament didn't. It's,
Sorry, delivery.
We're kind of
It's fine.
stalled at the minute because like the two of the week 2 fixtures haven't happened yet. But I've already played 4 of my games and I've won them, so I'm pretty much guaranteed to be in the top cut now.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, let's get back on with it, guys.
Yeah.
I am a Pokemon master. Hence, Jimmy, I have
What
a
kind
giant
of
kingdom
Pokemon
with me.
tournament is it?
Ah, that's break talk.
Yeah, that's break talk. Too
That's
late.
break talk. You
come
can talk
on.
about that next
Alright.
break. Pokemon talk
Next week.
break. I'm sure we're going to
Fair
have
enough.
another break. We had a break of 1 hour into a 4-hour session. We're going to have
Yeah.
another break. Okay, so, fuck, where were we?
We found
I
the
gave
boy.
the
Found the
kid
kid.
I gave the kid a pillow.
Wait,
Kid's
was
got a pillow. Any more questions for the kid?
are you a boy?
Am I? A...
Gender.
he's just confused.
I feel like okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if it was in.
It's as far as he knows, he's a boy. But that's a question a little bit outside of his immediate concern.
Did we get his name?
No.
Yes, Philip.
Philip.
Shit, you're right. I'm not very good at this.
I mean, for a laugh, should we ask him what
Okay.
the meaning of life is?
Yeah. Is that one or 2 L's?
2 L's. Doesn't really matter because we're going to be passing information back verbally. But yeah. So Derek chips in
Okay.
and says, "Okay, let the lad rest. It sounds like he comes from Allsworth, and we'll make it by night there anyway. And once we're there, we can look for his folks. There's enough room for him back there. He's all comfortable, yeah. And yeah, you've kind of laid him down flat in the bed. He's got a big old springy cushion, and he's just kind of snoozing at this point. He's still very low energy.
Tell me when we're an hour in.
An hour in. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say that you can keep it up if you're focusing on it.
Okay, yeah, because then otherwise it's
That's what she said.
lost.
So onwards now, back again, and nothing more happens as the sun sets and the road stretches on until you find yourselves approaching past sunset, maybe an hour or two into night, let's say 9:30. You find yourself in the town of Allsworth. You travel through a small town gate, which is open. and going along, very familiar scenery, smallish dirt road going through the center, houses, one or two shops. You do see a huge market area with wooden stalls set up. However, all of them are bare. It looks like they've all been packed down for the night.
Right. I just say, like, as we're kind of passing through, now's the time to stock up on beer if your guys are out again.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah.
Were we
Local
going to rest
craft
here?
beers.
What was that, Asmelian?
I thought we were resting here, like
Yes, you are.
Indian.
So Derek calls back and says, "Wake the boy up. We're here."
All right, so we do have some time to rest here.
Oh yeah, we'll be stopping up here for tonight. I have a favourite.
Where is the pub?
We'll be going to the pub once we got this lad home safe.
Aw.
Okay, so
It'll be
Kieran kind of
rewarding,
like
okay? Look at him.
shakes his shoulder a little bit.
Okay, so you rouse Philip, and Philip kind of groggily gets up. You can tell he's a lot better already. Food, sleep, and some healing magic has definitely done wonders. He's certainly not at 100%, but he can get up.
I
and you think
also let him play with the monkey.
well, he's not too interested in that because he sees he's home, and he gets very excited. And,
All right, well, on the
you know
way,
he
I
can't.
meant. All right, well,
Oh no,
he
he's
will
been
go.
out. He's been zonked out the whole
Okay,
way.
all the way. Oh, okay.
Um,
And he just woke up.
pretty
when
much.
we were
Well,
alive.
you were when you found him, you were about 4 hours out from town.
Mm.
So yeah, he's just been out for the last 4 hours of travel as
Okay,
a sunset. Yeah, he's like, my house is down that street, and he kind of points in down a street. And Derek calls, right. Are you lot all right to take the lad home? I'm gonna get the caravan parked up, and I'll see you at the tavern.
I'm gonna follow him to the tavern.
Which, do I have a name for this tavern?
The
It's the
Cockwell Inn.
no, it's the Purple Mermaid.
Ooh.
Nice. Kieran's gonna get off the cart and like ask the boy, like, would you like us to follow you to your home?
Yes, it's this way, and he's kind of like holding onto your hand and kind of pulling you like he wants to go.
Kieran will let him hold.
Okay.
your hand.
Cool.
I'll follow as well.
So who's going?
I'm
with?
going to the tavern.
Okay, cool.
I'm floating on my pillow after them. After the kid.
I can wait 5 minutes.
I'm going with Kieran and the kid.
Sure. So Philip leads Kieran and whoever else is going not too far, maybe about 5-10 minutes, just down the street, and he gets up to one of the doors, one of the houses, and he hurriedly goes over, kind of limping a little bit, because he from a bruised knee that you can kind of see, and he knocks on the door, and after about 5 seconds, a dwarf opens the door and kind of looks down at Philip, and then just like this big smile spreads across his face, and he scoops the lad up in his arms and gives him a big hug and says, "Oh, Philip, thank God, your mother's been worried sick." And you hear, like, from further in the house, you hear this like shriek, like, "Philip, Philip!" And this woman comes like hurrying over and sees the lad and just drowns him in hugs. Like, "Oh, thank goodness you're back! Thank goodness, we were so worried. We were so worried. We had everyone out looking for you, but you'd been gone so long. We thought maybe the worst had happened." And then she looks up and she sees you, Kieran, who, was leading the lad back to his house, and she like hurries over to you and just says, "Thank you so much for bringing him. Where did you find him?"
He was on the side of the road on our way into town. He says he's been in the woods for 5 days.
Oh goodness! Oh, poor Philip. I need to repay you. Hang on. And she like runs back into the house, and you hear a bit of rummaging. And at this point, the dwarven man's kind of like crouched down, and he's inspecting the kid's like bruises, like kind of cleaning him up a bit. And it's like, "Oh, "Oh, you're gonna have lots of scars to show off to the girls now, aren't you, Philip?" And Philip's like kind of smiling, like nodding, like, "I was really brave, Dad. I was really brave." And the mother comes back
Even ate
with
a bug. That's great.
and Philip like nods, like, "Yeah, I did, but it was really gross." Yeah, the dwarf like scruffs his hair and gives him another big hug. Anyway, the mother comes back and she's holding this small golden ring, and she holds it out to you, Kieran. She says, "Please, please take this. It's a family heirloom and it means a lot. But really, this is the best way I can repay you. This has been handed down in my family for generations, and it's supposed to keep us safe. And I want you to have it."
Kieran kind of just looks at her and would probably hold her hand out to take it, but wouldn't say much about it.
Okay, and she gives you the ring, and she clasps your hand over the ring and just shakes it like over and over again, just shaking your hand like, "Thank you so much, thank you. If you're ever in Allsworth again and you need a place to stay, just don't hesitate to ask. What's your name? Sorry."
My name is Kieran.
Kieran, thank you so much, Kieran. And she just like gives you a big hug.
Kieran looks awkward about this.
Yeah, and she's
And their arms
like
still
5'2", and you've got maybe like an extra 1.5 feet on her as
Yeah.
well.
I
So
just
you
like,
kinda like- You can like turn and look really awkwardly back at the other members of the party.
yeah, we helped a bit too. You're welcome.
And she comes in, she breaks them the hug, and she like goes and thanks each of you. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much. Or any of you, you're free to stay with us anytime you're in Allsworth and you need the place to stay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyway, it's really late. If any of you want to stay tonight, it's past dinner. I don't know if you're hungry. We've already eaten. I don't have any food ready. I think I might be able to scrounge something up for Philip, but if you need a place to stay, you can stay here tonight if you like.
No, that's alright. Thank you for the offer. But I think we're gonna stay at the town with our friends. Or what do you think, Kieran? And who else is here?
I'm here.
I'm here.
Right,
Okay.
Dusty and Asmodeus.
I think Philip needs his rest.
Yeah, we'll leave you
The
guys
the
be
dwarven man agrees. He's like, yeah.
for some good rest
I think-
tonight.
I think what Philip needs now is a quiet night, and I'm sure he'd love to. If you're setting off again in the morning, he'd love to see you before you go. I'll try and get him a bit more patched up. You know, he's kind of like got a rag in his hand. He's kind of been wiping away some of the mud and still kind of slightly bleeding cuts. Some of them are from today, recent.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's from before you got him onto the cart. I don't even think he got a splinters, but you've looked after him very well. They close the door after showering you with more thank yous and another round of hugs. And Philip waves goodbye, and his parents usher him off to his bedroom. So yeah, you head back to the Purple Mermaid with a sense of satisfaction, and you feel good about that, guys. You really do. Kieran, you have a small golden ring.
Okay.
When I say small, I mean kind of thin golden ring.
Is there
It will
like, I mean,
fit.
is it plain or like?
It's not engraved in anything. It's not engraved in anything now.
Okay.
One of you guys might want to cast Detect Magic on it. She did say it's supposed to protect them.
You're not there.
I
I
can do
was
it.
thinking about it though. I didn't know what to do.
I can cast it as a ritual.
Yeah, I can do it.
Kieran, do you hand over the
Yeah,
ring to
Kieran kind of holds the ring out to Asmodeus.
Okay, so Asmodeus has Detect Magic in his bag of tricks, and it is faintly magical.
Yeah, it glows.
Seems
a
like
bit
it gives it bolsters fortitude and health to some degree.
Plus what?
And Kieran, you can add a +4 HP ring to your inventory.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Not bad.
It does require attunement.
What does that mean?
Basically, there's different types of magical items. Magical items that don't require attunement and ones that do. Usually equipable items that increase your stats. Basically to stop you from being like a loot Christmas tree, just covered in all of these things and getting all of these stats. Anything that typically, the general rule is, anything that boosts your stats requires attunement. You can only have 3 items attuned at once, unless you're special.
I'm gonna be special.
One day you'll be special.
Yes.
So that's what I'm concerned right now. No one at this point has any attuned items.
Oh, my pillow? Damn it, I was really hoping. Extra,
You don't
plus
want-
1 extra sleeping.
You don't want that, trust me, because you'll be like, that'll be the first thing to go once you get your 4th attuned item. Okay, yeah, so you head back to the Purple Mermaid.
I'm at the
Royce
bar
was
already
with you,
making
by
a-
the way. Just kind of hanging back. Royce was with you guys. He's going with you now to the tavern.
Oh shit, you're
Um,
right.
And yeah, you meet up. It's about 10 o'clock now. It's a lively tavern, very lively tavern. Derek welcomes. He's kind of off in the corner chatting to some regulars he knows. Bogador, I assume,
bar.
is at the bar.
Yep.
On
Well, you put the
your
barmaid to work.
okay, it is, I believe, 5 copper per drink. I'm gonna just quickly double check that. You take off however many you want, and let me know how much you're drinking.
How much can I drink in 3 hours?
Just compare it to real life.
3 pints an hour.
There are rooms here, by the way, if people want to go straight to bed. I think there's a wizard who is very
We've had a
sleepy.
bad day, I think.
Yeah, I probably had to bed pretty quickly as well.
Well, you've got something to work on, I believe.
Oh yeah,
You've-
true. Yeah,
you've got something that's
I'm not going to
burning-
sleep for a while. That's right.
But you probably want to head to your room.
Yes, I head directly to my room. So
Well,
I've
you
been having
haven't
these
got a room yet.
ideas. Well,
You haven't got a room.
I'll buy a room then.
Sure. Give me a second, guys. I am lost in my player's handbook. Here we go. I'm in the inventory section. It is.
Can I say I've already bought a room, considering I was in the bar first?
Yes,
Okay.
you can. Oh, come on. Where is it? Here we go. A mug is 5 copper pieces.
I've already,
each
I've
mug
already
of ale.
deducted for 10 pints.
That would be 10 mugs.
Oh boy.
Wow.
A mug is a pint.
Yep.
I'm going to make you take a constitution check in a second to see how fucked up you are.
Yeah.
Probably more than one.
It's a gold piece, by the way, for per room.
Yeah, we'll say I've already got that then before I got drunk.
Sure.
Just want to do that.
I'm kind of in a
Sleep on- in one
hurry,
room?
so I'm just
Sure.
like
So yeah,
I'm just like in
So
keep a
I-
room, and I flip him a gold coin, and yeah.
and
Okay,
he
no.
leads you to your room. Asmodean, are you also going straight to bed?
I'm just wondering, like, is like a room only for one person, or can you?
They're
just,
each
like-
one-person rooms. They're actually quite nice.
Okay.
Derek has picked a particularly quite a nice establishment. I mean, as far as town inns go, yeah, it's quite nice furnishing here as well.
Okay, I'll take one room as well then.
Sure. I am
Yeah,
going to
includes
assume that
food?
each of you is buying a room for tonight.
Yeah.
So take off 1 gold if you are.
It doesn't include food. I need to know.
Yes, that does include breakfast and
Okay.
a small snack of dinner if you want some. But you have eaten on the road, and it is 10
Okay.
o'clock.
I'm
So I
jumping
assume
into
that
bed.
just means breakfast. Yeah. Okay. Those who haven't gone straight to their rooms, we have some stuff to do.
Yes.
So Bogador and whoever else is joining him in a bit of drinking, it is 5 copper per mug of ale. The ale is good quality, and you're enjoying it. I would say
Bogador would have enjoyed it regardless of the quality.
I think you're right. I do.
You've still
I
got
do
2
agree.
bottles of moonshine, well, a bottle and a half of moonshine on the crab.
Yeah, but that's staying on the crab. That's your road. That's your road booze.
Yep.
So this cheeky-looking little gnome sidles up to you.
Oh no.
Bogador.
Flashbacks.
and kind of
Liverpool,
kind of
right?
elbows you in the ribs. Just not hard, just to get your attention.
Oi, what is that for?
Psst, big guy.
What?
You see that barkeeper?
Yep.
And he points out barkeeper who
Which one?
is
Which one? There's 3 of them.
the orc.
Oh yeah.
You see his big old nose.
Yep.
And at this point, you can see that he has this orc he's pointing out has this huge, bulbous, bright green nose. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. It's like something out of a children's book. And you look at it and you have like a little giggle, like that's done. And the gnome says, "That barkeep there, he really hates it when people talk to him about his nose. I reckon he'll pick a fight with you if you do it."
You reckon you will?
I reckon he will. And I'll tell you something. There's 4-to-1 odds on him taking you down.
Oh really?
Yeah, there is. You want to get in on this?
Cheeky bastard.
Oh, we've been doing a round.
Fucking
And
right,
he kind of
why
like
not?
he turns around and he gestures at the bar, and you see like a few tables kind of like cheekily wave back at him. So I'll tell you what.
boy.
If you take him down, I'll give you a cut.
All right then. Oi, big nose, give us another pint, will you?
Okay. So
Yo, we're going to the battle.
he at this point.
I'm in my room.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think I'm gonna be spending the night
Kind
outside,
of
lad.
regret it now, but
Okay, so who else is in the bar at this point? This is
I'm here.
maybe
Just
5 pints into Bogador's 10 pints.
Oh, I'm not even
I'm
that
back in bed right away.
So Dusty, just
I'm on-
Dusty?
I'm on
I think
2.
it is just Dusty. Karen, you definitely went to bed, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just Dusty. Cool.
Oi, Dusty, if it gets heavier, don't be afraid to stick a leg out and trip the cunts up, alright?
I'm all for fair play, my friend.
I'll give you a cut, come on. It's a laugh.
Okay, well,
Okay, that sounds fair to me.
you call over, "Oi, big nose," and the guy turns and he gives you the biggest fuck you eyes you've ever seen. He comes up and he slams a mug down on the counter and slops ale all over like the front of you. And he's like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?"
I'm gonna attempt to punch him in the nose, and as he's falling over, I'm gonna say, "I was talking about you big fucking conk."
Okay, yeah, roll a hit. This will just be a melee hit, so roll your hand axes.
You do not have a room tonight.
I know. No.
Rip.
Oh, it's like both the flashbacks combined into one.
You're in the caravan.
So you throw your hit. You did have advantage as it was a surprise hit, but he still manages to catch the fist, and he like twists it, and
This sounds familiar.
it does, doesn't it?
Kieran's nose
this
is starting to
big-
itch.
he has this big. I mean, you won't be asleep yet. This is maybe 30 minutes after you went to bed. I don't think you could definitely still be awake once the noise starts coming through. So I would say the other two. Monk is 100% engaged in what he's doing. Asmodean is fast asleep, but you will probably be able to poke your head into this as it goes down. He headsbutt you. Well, let's see how that goes for him. Oh goodness, not that.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
For God's sake, Dusty, do not be afraid to heal me.
14 to hit.
16.
Okay, so it hits, it makes contact, but you don't feel that. That's now.
I'm gonna headbutt him back.
Okay, so roll another hit.
Yeah.
No.
That hits. Roll the damage. That would be. Oh, it's a d6. It won't work. Roll 1d4 plus 2 instead. 4 damage. Okay, so you crack him right on the nose, which is weirdly squishy.
Not
And,
hard to miss that thing.
No. Okay, so it's kicking off.
Yeah.
You both, he kind of lunges for you, and you both tumble over the front of the bar, sending glasses everywhere. The whole inn just goes like up in a huge cheer, and you got people like stamping their feet on the ground and like a river and clapping their hands. You've got a little there's an elf, like maybe an 18-year-old looking elf bard playing his like little lute in the corner. Like he was just playing some like generic tavern music, but now he's like and oh yeah, this is what everyone was waiting for. The
Pick me.
I just needed someone dumb enough to do it.
yeah, basically that's exactly what they were waiting for. Okay, so I think the best way to do this, we're going to trade hits back and forth for a bit now.
Okay.
So you did 4 damage. Let me just where is it? Okay, so I'm gonna go for. So he throws some fists at you. You manage to duck and weave. You've got that drunk master going. To be fair though, this is at the point where you're still sober enough to fight, especially once the adrenaline kicks in.
I'm tipsy, I would say.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. You're well within your comfort range here. You're nowhere near off your face enough to the point where you can't handle yourself in a tavern fight. If anything, this is what you've been practicing for a few years.
Fucking right it is.
It wasn't a D6, was it?
Wait, hang on a sec.
So he managed to get in one good hit though on the side of your head for 6 damage. Swing back at him 3 times.
Hang on a sec. Can I cast Hunter's Mark on him?
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I just click Hunter's Mark, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you've got Hunter's Mark in. I'm gonna say gonna make you roll some con checks just to make sure you can keep that concentration up. But yeah, roll 3 hits. Just roll 3 hand axe attacks and we'll see how many you land. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's not a hit. Okay, so roll 4, 7.
That's the damage for the hand axe, though.
Yeah, but it's also a 1d6 for the Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark's gonna wreck this guy.
Additional.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've actually just taken him down.
Yeah.
Shit. I didn't even get a chance to
It's-
trip him up.
I'm going to roll with pleasure. I jump up on the bar, I whip my harmonica out, and I just start jamming.
First, tell us how you knock him the fuck out, though.
Yeah, go on. What's the blow? What's the blow?
Big uppercut to his nose.
To his nose?
Oh god.
Okay, so it's not an uppercut so much as it's like a forward upwards jab. You hit the nose, and then it just keeps going, and you just basically just like knock his head up. His skull takes a rattling, and he goes down on the bar. And you hear at this point lots of like ohs and lots of yes, and the cheeky little gnome just comes like running along the bar to you, and he like he grabs your hand, and like him on the bar and you stood up, he's about the same height. And he raises your hand into the air, and like everyone's like,
Yeah.
clapping, and yeah. He sticks 5 gold pieces in your palm and says, "Nice
Oh,
one,
lovely.
mate." And you had it. You had it.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
And
I continue on with my harmonica jam. Me and the
God, that Hunter's Mark made that so much quicker than I thought that was going to go. Because it was unarmed, you'd be rolling 1d4s, but you basically were rolling like a 1d10 against his 1d4.
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
Did he hit the bone in such a way that it went into the brain and killed him?
No.
Oh, damn it.
It's all non-lethal now.
I was going to say, whoa, I don't want to kill
We
him.
don't need a murder.
That could happen if you hit
It could be
straight
an
up into
accident,
the nose.
I was wondering, like, would there be a rule for accidental
By the way,
killing?
Royce is like clapping and cheering with all of them.
I don't want to get
All right. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's there's a crowd around Royce, by the way, at this point. He was very quickly like singled out, and like
Everybody buying
there's
drinks.
been a few ladies fetching him drinks for a while.
Nice.
Yeah, no, he's quite popular. He was in a corner table with about 12 people sat, and maybe another 6 or 7 stood, just like he was telling stories and everyone was like getting into it. Yeah, so bar fight went down. That was good for you, Bogador. You got one in the bag.
Yep, finally.
And you keep
Good-
those
good
drinks
try.
going. I'm just gonna say it's a foregone conclusion. You get pretty smashed, and
Yep.
you make your way to bed. Dusty,
stumbled.
do you stay up as late as him? I'm gonna say about midnight.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna walk him on to the
Sure,
bed.
sure. Perfect.
I've just got my hand on his head, trying to keep steady to try and walk back to my room.
Yeah,
I'm using
that
him as
makes sense.
Yeah, I've got my walking stick in my left hand, and I'm using him as my. Basically, I'm using the walking stick and Dusty as a pair of crutches to help me walk
Sure.
to bed.
Sure. So you go to bed with a deep sense of satisfaction and yeah, the happy drunkenness. That smooths heals the pain. Very familiar friend. Monk.
Right, I'm done, guys. I can just pop out here if you want.
Sorry, was it 5
So-
copper each for the?
No, just for Bogador. Oh, for each drink you mean?
Yeah.
It's 5 copper per drink. Bogador,
Okay.
you got 5 gold pieces.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I made a profit tonight, and I still got wasted. How great was that?
And you win a fight. Yeah, it was a good night for you.
Yeah.
That guy was not balanced for your level. Come out and say it. Once I saw how you were rolling, it was a foregone conclusion. You dropped him down in those 2 hits. Like if that was a D6 for Hunter's Mark, and then you had another D4 on top of it, you basically did about 3/4 of his health in those 2 hits. Like, yeah, the stuff I gave him wasn't going to matter for shit. Once you got your next attacks, then he was going down. Plus, you had a huge AC advantage because I assume you're still in your armor and he wasn't armored. Anyway, Syre, you as soon as you get into the room, basically the idea that's been burning at your head all day. You lay out first off, you go into your bag, you get out your toolkits, you get out your new pieces of sky steel that you bought in wherever, Chipsdale. You pull out the arm and lay it on the table. You pull out the reagents, the enchanting materials, the water from the oasis. You lay it all down and you get to work. And I'm going to say you'll be working on this for about 3 hours. Basically fitting the pins in where you needed them to go, shaping 1 or 2 into screws for the right places with your Tinker's kit. And you eventually get it to the point where you want, and now you start on with your new idea for the incantation, the idea that's been burning away in your head. And you start so you pull off the sleeve of your monk's robe. And,
Oh, that's already off. You mean like for the arm? For the missing
Yeah,
arm?
for
Yeah,
the-
I already
for the
cut
stump.
off the sleeve.
Oh, have you been stumping the whole time?
Yeah, I'm stumpy.
I kind of assumed that you had that kind of maybe hidden a little bit. Anyway, okay, well,
yeah, maybe a
some
little
sleeve-
bit. Alright, let's leave
Yeah.
the sleeve. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure,
right.
like,
That's a bit more classic.
Yeah, because now as you pull it back, you reveal the attachments on the actual shoulder itself, the actual metal that you've grafted in where the arm is going to attach. That you managed to do several months ago. It's all healed and it's ready to go. It's connected to the actual shoulder bone. You attach the arm. It's a mechanical process. You attach it. It hangs limp. You hold it onto the table, and you begin to do the enchantments. This new enchantment, and as you go, you rub your reagents on it. You trace the runes, the pattern of the runes, and you douse it in the special water from your oasis. And as you go, you see your main 3 runes light up as you go. Each one just lighting up in sequence, and you extend your key, the special monk training, the way you project your inner being. You project your key, your astral arm, your phantom limb into the awaiting metal limb, connecting it with the runic magic. And for the first time, you actually make that connection and hold it. You can actually hold it. And once you're finished your incantations, once it's all done, the runes there still glowing, you lift the arm. Not with your other arm, but with your own will. You lift the arm and you rotate it. You clench it into a fist.
And
You
I
move
said,
each of the fingers.
yes! I said, and I smashed the table.
Yeah. You
And I said,
shout in triumph.
Scream.
yeah, I shouted triumph. Yes! And I smashed the arm into the table and break it in half.
Yeah, you break that table.
Good shit.
As doing it, it's your first motion with an arm in over a year. I can't actually remember what the timescale is for it, but since you lost it, I imagine it's been at least a year.
Yeah.
So it's a bit awkward. You managed to get a slam motion going, no problem. However, you do spend like some more time now adjusting to it and feeling it out. Already, you can feel a lot of improvement to do here. A lot of improvement. It's awkward. It's slightly clumsy, but it's your dream. You did it. The goal that you've been working on for months and years, your obsession. You finally managed to make it work.
Cool.
Yay!
Yeah, that was awesome. Nice
Well,
to
we don't
see.
know
You
anything
guys,
yet, right?
you guys shouldn't have went straight to bed. You totally missed out on all the action tonight.
So yeah, the Cybermonk is online.
Sweet.
No longer have
So I will say, Monk. Didn't talk to you about this before, but I thought about it. It does require attunement.
The arm itself?
Yeah, because it
Alright.
is technically a magic weapon. And I'd say
Fair
at the
enough.
very least it would require attunement. But yeah, that's not going to be too much of a problem for you, I don't think.
No,
Especially
and
because
yeah,
yeah,
that's a fair
it
attunement.
is basically going to be your weapon for like the whole campaign, and a lot of people do attune to their weapons anyway later on. So
yeah.
I thought, seeing as you get extra slots and stuff going forward, it's just fair. Really, it's a balancing thing.
Yeah,
So,
it's pretty
so far,
badass, that is. So, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
mind that.
Cool. So I'd say around 1 or 2 in the morning, you manage to finally fall asleep. You're so excited, but you do manage to get to sleep. And everybody wakes up in the morning around, let's say 8, 9. You just about get a long rest, Syre. You all get long rests. Health is back, spells are back, exhaustion's gone, although that was already gone. Bogador, roll me a constitution check, or saving throw even. How many pints did you have?
10.
10 pints?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you're doing okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I can
you're
handle my
hungover.
LC.
You
Yeah,
are
I am.
hungover,
I am.
however, you're not hungover to the point where it's going to affect your stats
Okay.
or combat. No, it was a good night for you.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I think some of that's rubbed off. So,
So, by the way, did I use up all? I used up all the sky still, right?
yes, I mean you only got a very small amount anyway.
Yeah.
It was just for it was just for some mechanical upgrades. Yeah, for sure. What was I gonna say? Yes. So, you wake up, morning light, birds singing their morning song, and smell of breakfast rolling through the halls. Everyone gets up and makes their way to the tavern. Royce and Derek already there, chatting away, eating their breakfasts. What's going on?
I'm in need of some bacon or something like that, so I'm immediately going to try and find some food.
Yeah, I'm probably oversleeping a little bit since I was up so late working on it. So
I'm going to say that you're going to be the last one in, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think the people that are already downstairs hear me wake up by my morning ritual.
Oh, come on, it's not that loud. It's not like gunshots. But yeah, everyone makes their way through. Asmoleon's on his plushest pillow. You all had room, so you all got breakfast. Good old bacon and sausage breakfast.
Oh, good stuff.
And fried egg.
Making me hungry.
And yeah,
Alright.
then the final member of the party comes with an extra limb.
What the bloody hell's that thing on your arm?
Oh, it's something I've been working on for a while now. Finally finished it last night. It seems to be working alright, but I think I need to adjust to it quite a bit more. Can't say, and I can't just wave to him with it.
Yeah, and it's an awkward motion. It's an awkward motion, but it's definitely a wave.
I think Asmodeus is really interested in this, and he right away wants to do a magic, detect magic.
Detect magic, yeah. Well, I mean, Asmodean, he comes over and he's like muttering and stuff. Do you communicate that's what you're gonna do, or do you just start doing it like eyes lights
Yeah, I
up?
communicate. I tell him that I'm interested and I want to know more about it.
That's okay with you, Syra? You don't?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
fine. I just kind of scratched my
Yeah.
head. Sure, have a look.
So, it's I'm just gonna check. I think it's enchantment magic that you'll have been using, but
Yeah, probably.
just want to just double check because I think abjuration is also kind of similar to that. Where are they? I think it's back. Oh, here we go. Abjuration, protective, nation enchantment, illusion, transmutation. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a weird mix of magic. It's definitely forms of magic that you're really not familiar with. You definitely can work out that there's the base of it is enchantment, but there's also a lot more to it than that. Because there's the key he's projecting into the arm itself, which is definitely kind of interfacing with the actual runic magic. It's kind of it's the meeting of those two forces that allow this to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of explaining a bit too, like speaking about I've used a lot of rituals that more commonly used back in my homeland, and like kind of like what kind of magic it is and a bit stuff like that.
You mentioned the water that you used to.
Don't.
Okay. Yeah. So one thing that does strike you as a little bit odd is that the whole actual appendage is infused with the magic. It's not. It's like soaked in almost in a way that I mean you can tell Asmodean that it's steel, it's wood in places. You know, it's very non-magical, typically non-magical properties. However, they are absorbing magic pretty readily, and that is odd. But yeah.
Okay.
Most of this goes way over your head.
I ask if he has any like books on the subject.
I suppose my dad had some books on some of the rituals involved, but all that went missing a while back.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the information.
Sure. Anything for a fellow scholar.
How long you been working on it?
Oh, quite a few months now. 5-6 months in total.
Yeah.
Before,
That's
yeah,
pretty impressive for such a short amount of time.
Well, thank you. I had like wonderful parents who taught me a lot about various of the stuff involving in the making of it.
Did some nice stonework though.
What?
Oh, I'm silly. Yeah. You mention it, however. Now, this is something I forgot to mention. It's actually, oh God, Syra. The arm itself, while it feels heavier than your other arm, obviously the actual materials involved are many times heavier than the flesh and bone of your other arm. The actual difference does not represent that. While it feels heavier, it does not feel significantly heavier. Yeah, there's definitely more of a lightness to it.
That's cool.
Sure.
What's the plan for the day then?
Okay, so Derek chips in and says, well, It's pretty much we should be at Winchester before sunset even. We have maybe the most wiggle room of any day today. It's maybe a 3/4 day journey from here to Winchester. So if you guys want to stop by the market before we leave, they should be mostly set up by now. I'd say we can spare an hour for a bit of shopping if you guys want.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
I am going to go over to the bar and get some hair of the dog in me.
So my detect magic is still active, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
So
concentrate it's for an hour.
Yeah, I float
No
around.
pillow though.
What?
Well, is it concentration detect magic or is it just active?
I think pretty sure it's concentration. So yeah.
Anything that's concentration, the pillow's gone for.
Well, okay. I'll walk around the market.
Gotta stretch
Okay.
your legs, you know.
Okie dokie.
Do I detect any magic in the marketplace?
Is anybody? Oh goodness, the stream is just bombing. I don't know why it does that.
That's fine on my end.
I should really swap it up. I think it'll dip in a second.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm gonna swap the music up. I should have been swapping the music up a little bit more, but apologies.
Nice.
We've got some more town music now.
Cool.
Love
So, who is anybody not going into market?
Me, I'm going to stay in the pub and get some hair of the dog in me. I need
Sure.
a Fiora.
Anyone
Royce,
else?
yeah,
Royce is
so-
Royce is staying with you. So's Derek. Royce and Derek are staying
Cool.
at the end. What was that? Anyone else? Speak up now, or are you going to the market?
Yeah, I'm going to the market first. I wanted to walk around.
Yeah.
See if I detect any magic.
Awesome. Okay, so you make your way out into the market, and you saw it on your way in. Big market square full of stands, and the stands now attended and just adorned with wares. A lot like spilling onto the floor as well. You know, you got it's just a bazaar. You know, pottery, wood carvings, pelts, weaponry, arrows.
I should have went to the market.
Alchemist supplies, potions, anything you can think of. There's something here. This is definitely a hub of trade.
Is it still too late for me to go to the market?
Nah, you can definitely have second thoughts and go.
Alright, okay, I'm going to go then. I'm just going to have the one drink. I'm going to down that and chase after them.
Okay, you do catch up. Sure. So this is more of a case of you guys. If you've got something that really you want to look around for, let me know.
I want to see if I can go and get myself a better bow, if that's possible.
Right.
You okay? So this is a little bit of explaining how D&D works, but also in-game as well. I'll contextualize this. You have a really good bow already. It's
Right.
well crafted from strong wood, good materials. The bow you strung it yourself. It's brilliant. Really, it's one of the best bows you've had in your life. Upgrading things like the wood and the material of the bow isn't going to do that much difference at all.
Okay.
Where extra stats come from is enchantments, magics. Like a +1 bow, that's a magical enchantment. That's something that is actually lacking here. There is not a big trade in magical items and magical weaponry. This is more of practical trade goods, weaponry, armor, shields, and all of that. But not so much for magical trade. The most magical thing here, there is a trinket stand that also sells potions. So there is a very small magical vendor. It's just called Mikey's Magics and Oddities.
Could I possibly see if I can get an upgrade on my hand axes then, considering the bow's really good, or not really get better hand axes, do you think?
Well, you can swap them out for different weapons. So let's go to the weaponry page. Do you have proficiency in martial weaponry? I'm not particularly certain you are, but
No.
definitely check that for me. In that case,
No,
you're going to be
I've-
stuck to simple weaponry.
Yeah, I can only speak 4 languages and play the harmonica in my proficiencies.
Only for me.
Only, yeah, I was speaking about that.
Does
So-
anybody want to split a tent with me?
Oh, I will.
There is definitely tents and camping supplies, yes.
do
But just so you
I'll do it as
know,
well.
in the player handbook, there's any simple melee weapon you can use. I don't know if any of those would stick out. In terms of stats, 1d6 slashing is the best you're going to get for one-handed weapons.
Right. Okay, then I'm gonna ask the vendor. Like, I'm gonna show him my hand axe and say, "Have you got anything that's a little bit better than this? I'm in the market for a new weapon."
You any good with using both hands?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it, like.
Because the problem is with your hand axe is you're not particularly trained in dual wielding, so you can't dual wield them. So you basically you just use one at once.
Yeah.
Hand axe is not versatile, so you could get a bigger weapon that you can hold in two hands. Which he suggests: great club, quarterstaff, spear. That's about it.
I like the sound of the spear.
A spear? Yeah, simple spear. That's a gold piece.
I'll take it.
Spears are not much. Do you want to hand in the hand axes? Do you want us to trade up?
Spears
Or trade
have like
down?
long reach as well, right? Or is that like the javelins? Or no, that's the throwing.
No, they don't actually have reach on spears. Pikes is a martial
Oh yeah,
weapon
the
that
pikes, which I was thinking about. Cool.
Yeah, spear is a lot shorter. You can throw them though. You can throw spears, 20 to 60 range, and they are versatile 1d8.
Cool.
How much?
He is happy actually to trade in one of your hand axes for the spear.
Excellent. That's a trade I can agree with.
Sure. So you hand over one of your hand axes. He checks it. Good condition. Good enough condition.
Mhm.
And yeah, he hands you over the spear. Why the fuck is the stream dropping quality? Whatever. Yeah, so if you want to, you still have a hand axe that you can lob in a pinch.
Yep.
But if you want to add a 1d8 weapon, a spear attack to your, and the spear is 3 pounds in terms of weight.
Okay.
Don't forget to take off one of your hand axes, which was 2 pounds. So you're only
Okay.
gaining a pound.
Damage is 1d8. Do I need to add anything else?
Just your strength, proficiency and strength, which is automatic, I think.
Okay, so I think that's done. So what do I press now? I think I just...
Just close it. You've got a spear +4, 1d8 +2. Perfect.
Okay, hand axes. Bring that down to 1. Add the spear.
So,
Yeah, you've got it.
so no luck. I was hoping that there would be like a magical item somewhere between the rubbish and.
Okay, yeah.
and
So there is a lot of rubbish. There
no,
is.
you know what I mean, like
I know
bargain
what you
shopping.
mean. I know what you mean. There's like basically with your detect magic going, you're kind of flicking through his necklaces and his rings and his
Yeah.
bits of crap, and most of it is completely not enchanted at all.
Yeah.
You do find, however, one pendant which piques your attention.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to that later while I figure out what that pendant is.
Okay. Do I have
Tense.
enough gold to actually buy it? Because otherwise it's not.
We will figure that out.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm going to go over to Dusty and I'm going to say, "Oh, do you want to go off to the tent?"
Yeah, chuck me a gold.
Okay.
I shall
I'll
buy
grab
buy
it.
an extra one. For me.
I will give 1
Two-person
gold to Dusty.
tents. Two-person tents are 2 gold pieces and £20.
Okay. That's fine. We can put it on Jimmy, can't we?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
that's a fair point. I should actually put what thing Yo has on him. Oops, no,
Do you want me to hold it, or will you?
I was going to say I'll put it. We can just put it on Jimmy, can't we? Take it
Oh
off on
yeah, I
Jimmy.
guess we can do that right now. Yeah. I'll let you note that down.
I will do. Just check Jimmy's character sheet. It should have been. In fact, can anybody edit Jimmy's character sheet? Because I think I was going to say
I don't
I think people should tell me what we put on Jimmy.
Yeah,
So I can just put it on
yeah,
his,
just list them in character sheet.
How much weight is the tent, by the way?
20 pounds.
20 pounds.
For everyone, you're gonna need 3 two-person tents.
3?
Well, yeah, there's 5 of you.
Oh, you have a one-person
I think-
tent then?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can have a one-person tent for 1 gold piece and 10 pounds. Just halve it. Why not?
Yeah.
I guess we're having no visitors.
Actually, you know what? I'm
You
gonna
can
make
sleep
that
outside.
1.5 gold pieces and 15 pounds. To make it,
Yeah, yeah.
the two-person
That's
tent is
perfect.
slightly more
Economical.
appealing because I think it's gonna be funny to have you bunking up.
We have what's his face with us too, though.
Who?
Derek.
Royce?
Royce.
Derek?
Oh,
They
right.
take care of
Royce and
themselves.
Derek.
You don't have to
Royce
worry about that.
was only catching a ride for here, or was it?
Well,
next time?
his tent did get destroyed by the bear.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, he will sort that on his own.
I was gonna say, that's his own bloody
That's
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
We saved his life, he can buy his own goddamn tent.
I think I'm just gonna get a one-man tent.
One-man tent?
So how much did it say? 1 gold and
1 gold, 50 silver.
Well, I'll split someone with someone if someone wants to.
Kieran will split with you.
Okay. I'll remove 1 gold from 9.
Wait, is it 100?
100 what?
Like 100 copper is 1 silver.
No, 10 copper
No,
is 1
10.
silver. Yeah, 100 copper is a gold.
Okay. David said 50 silver,
Okay, sure.
so I was
Sorry,
just
my
checking.
bad.
Okay, have you all got your tent sorted then?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have been
Yeah,
surprised
we have
if
two,
the
we
other
have-
3 bought their own single ones.
No, we have 2 double tents and 1 single tent.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else people want to buy?
Well, I'm still waiting on my pendant.
We'll
I was
get
gonna
back to
see
that
if
in
I
a
could-
second.
I was
I'm
gonna
ready
see
for
if I
that.
could get
but-
I don't think
Go
it's worth me buying anything.
Bogador,
Yep.
you're starting a question.
Yeah, I was gonna wonder if there was anything me worth buying at the pendant store, but if there's only one magical item, I guess.
Well, you don't know that.
I'm gonna.
You can ask me.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say I'm gonna go over to Asmoli.
Okay,
I'm going to ask him if he thinks there's anything there worth buying.
Okay, so we're going to go now back to Asmolean and the trinket vendor, who is this very well decorated, dark skinned elf who kind of rubs his hands together and grins at you and says, excellent taste, good fellow. That is my most expensive item. Truly a wondrous item. That is the fabled circlet of blasting. It's yeah, it's a fabled, legendary item, for which I can take no less than 300 gold pieces.
Wow!
I knew it.
Wow!
I'll give you 3.
I'm
And a hand.
So, are you going to detect magic on it?
who?
Are you going to
yeah,
use your
it's
detect
still
magic? Because you
alright.
can get more information
Isn't
on
it
it.
already active?
I already hacked the.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, it's it basically what the circlet does. It gives you while wearing the circlet, you can use an action to cast a scorching ray spell with it. When you make the spell's attacks, you do it with an attack bonus of +5. The circlet can't be used this way again until the next dawn. So basically, it gives you basically like a fire ray spell, free use. Leaf Scorching Ray is a 2nd level spell. Fairly good one.
Well, we don't have nowhere near 300 gold.
Yeah, not even
Oh.
together are even close.
That is a shame. I could
Well,
offer
I-
you some other magical items, maybe that's more within your price range. I have this ring of wondrous punching. While wearing this ring,
What
your
did you call
punches,
I didn't
wondrous
detect any.
punching.
Did I detect any other
Please tell
magic
me
item?
more.
Well, Asmolean, you know that the ring is just a ring. But the vendor says, while wearing this ring, any blow you strike with a fist is tripled in strength. You can knock down doors, you can knock the lights out of a horse, lift people 10 feet into the air with your brute strength.
That sounds a bit good to be true. What do you say, Smolin?
I asked the vendor to come close and tell him if he doesn't want everyone to know that he's a scam artist, he sells me the ring for 10 gold.
The ring?
Sorry, the trinket, the one that's actually nice.
Make a intimidation check. Technically, it's more of an extortion check, but I'm going to roll it into intimidation.
Can I like help him or something?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so, just because this is more of a one-on-one kind of thing. You're not really on board, and you haven't really coordinated. Yeah.
It's really good.
Oh my god.
Sir,
I use inspiration.
Yeah, you want to use your inspiration to roll again?
I want to try again.
Okay, roll again. Take your inspiration off and roll again.
What does inspiration do?
It lets you. It's an inspiration point, and it lets you re-roll a dice.
Okay.
I believe some of you have it from the.
Really.
From the
it's a bit better. You're not making a complete fool of yourself.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
He's a small guy.
Now look, I'm not going to be threatened or extorted. I am a vendor of good repute in this town, good sir. And while I appreciate that not everybody is as trained in the ways of magic as I am, to use some of these items, they might not look useful, but to me, I'm a trained Archomancer. I've been trading in magic items my entire life.
Yeah, keep saying trade a few more times and maybe it'll make it true.
He gives you the shit eye.
He should die.
Like, yeah, no, he's like, look, are you gonna buy something or leave?
Yeah.
What if you start?
Yeah, we're out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I do want to walk to a guard actually and to try and explain. Maybe like a local. Is anyone that's like kind of in charge? I see like.
Before we get kicked out of this town for what's going on here, can I buy some crossbow bolts?
Of course you can. Crossbow bolts, I believe, are like a gold per 20 or something. Yeah, gold per 20.
I'll do that. Take 20.
Perfect. 20 is loads.
Because I can see where this is heading.
There is an alchemist who can sell basic poison and acid. However, those are expensive.
Yeah.
Quite expensive. Again, healing potions are also available here, but seem to be a bit beyond your price range right now. Yeah, it's nice here, but other than basic stuff, you guys are a bit out of. Yeah,
so there's one thing. I've been kind of having this new idea bouncing in my head, and I kind of want to buy a gem of some sort, which I can possibly infuse with magic. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, how much do you want to spend on a gem? Basically, you just tell me the value and I tell you what you get.
Up to 10 gold.
Up to 10 gold. Now, I think it was in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Hang on, 5e gem values. That's the Dungeon Master's Guide is like the only book I don't have, so.
That's kind of the most important one, but alright.
I know. Well, I bought the Player's Handbook and the Monster Manual, and they're like £20 each.
Yeah, they're expensive. That's true.
Yeah, they are. So you basically you spend 10 gold and you get a 10 gold gem. I'm going to tell you what that gem is in a second.
All right.
Anything else anyone want to do?
Yeah. So I was wondering, can I like do I know any like person that is a leader here, or like do I see anyone in charge? I want to like try and make it look like I'm walking.
There's town guards, yeah, but not like a. This is very much like okay, so yeah, there's town guards, and that's all you really see. You don't really know enough about this market to know like who runs it, who organizes it. But you do see people around. You see maybe like 4 or 5 people just kind of like off to the side, just keeping a watch. Not particularly well armored, but they've definitely got some leather armor, very basic leather armor and short swords. And they're just keeping an eye out on things,
Yeah.
Watching for thieves, mostly.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I was thinking like maybe like making it look like I was walking there and see if he would do something about it.
No, he's not paying attention to you.
I mean, it's kind of a bit difficult to convince someone that they're swindling you when you don't like have any proof other than your say so.
Yeah.
This is what I want, I think.
Well, then that's my turn. I ended. I just walk back to the where we came from the inn. Actually, I summoned my pillow and float back.
Cool.
Okay, so the gem you have, by the way, is it's a fairly well cut chunk of obsidian.
All right.
That caught your eye. So obsidian, obviously shiny black stone. And it's about the size of, I'd say about the size of a golf ball.
Is there
It's
any
obviously-
brighter gems for around that price?
I mean, do you want bright gems? Okay, I'll tell you what you can get. You can get something called banded eye, moss agate, azurite, blue quartz, hematite, lapis lazuli, malachite,
Blue
obsidian. Blue quartz. You want a blue quartz?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, it's a blue quartz. Again, this isn't as well cut, but it's a bigger chunk. This is about. It's kind of like a palm-sized rock of it. It's still kind of got its original crystalline formation to it. But you do have gem cutting tools, and it's the gem you wanted. It's worth 10 gold. You've got actually a fair amount to work with there. Plenty to work with.
All right. All right.
Yeah. And yeah, so that's 10 gold. Okay. Right, I would say that it might be about time to wrap it up in the
Yeah.
market. Yeah?
Okay. I don't think I should get anything.
Yeah. Well, you've got
I
your
really
test,
would-
and I think that's all you were really after.
At this point, I really wish we had a thief in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We
Make
definitely
things-
kicked out of this town.
Yeah, we just distract him with a guard, and then the thief comes along and grabs him.
Okay, so you meet up with Derek. Royce is coming as well. However, he has procured himself another horse, and he just says he's going to ride beside you guys because he likes you and you're good company, and you're going to the same destination, so there's no reason why you wouldn't.
Yeah. By the way,
Um,
Dragon Slayer as a bodyguard. Cool.
Kind of. I mean, you do definitely feel safe in his presence. Like, yeah. He can clearly. This guy's a big shot. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm just going to say a full day of uneventful travel between Allsworth and Winchester. As you travel along the road, you see the lake in the distance, and it is a vast lake. We're talking like roughly like
That's huge.
like 2-3 miles across, at least.
So you can't really see the other side.
Not so much, no. No. No, it's way more than that. What am I talking about? It's like probably like, hang on, let me just work this out. Let's say that's 30 miles. It's about 15-20 miles
Holy shit.
across. Yeah.
It's like a mini ocean.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a Great Lake. So, yeah, you make your way over along the road, which kind of just draws closer and closer. You make your way over another large river, and eventually you find yourself approaching. I'm going to say this is about 5 o'clock, so sun's still up but kind of setting.
Alright,
You
so
find your
kind
way
of on
to-
the way, I want to get started on the gem cutting. Could I like? do
I
the
am
check?
going to say there is no chance that you are going to
Oh,
risk
true,
cutting a
true,
gem.
true. Right,
in a car.
it's gonna be bumpy. Right.
Way too bumpy. Yeah, that's very fine work. Very fine work. Plus, I think you're going to be feeling out your arm for most of the day. Just kind of like catching objects with it, stretching it, kind of feeling it out. You know,
Bye.
this is the first day that you have your arm back. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
think you're
kind of
gonna be kinda-
ecstatic the whole day.
He clapped
Yeah.
at me.
And yeah, so this is not a town. This is a city that you are now approaching.
Boy.
Not as big as Middleton, but certainly a city with a wall and a gate. And it's nestled actually on the lake side. And as you're approaching, you could see boats out on the lake and the harbour. And yeah, so you pass through big gate, guards on both sides, with no problems, obviously. And yeah, Royce waves his goodbye. You also pick up at this point that he is on his way to. He mentioned earlier, he's on his way to the Storm Height Peaks to tackle a fairly high-level guild contract. Apparently, something is stirring down in the mines. It's obviously age-old tale. However, all of like the kobolds, the goblins, the Durgar, they're all kind of banding together and rising up. Something is coordinating and leading these creatures. And yeah, he has been dispatched basically to find it and kill it, whatever it is.
Wow.
Before he leaves, could I ask him some questions? So I want to wreck on this later with you because I don't want this in the group, in a sense. So can we do that later? But I want to take him
Quiet
apart
moment?
and take him apart and talk to him about something. So we'll wreck on that later after.
I'm gonna say that you're gonna. There's never really a good opportunity for you to do that unnoticed.
Well,
You're gonna.
they can see me doing it. That's not a problem. I need to
Okay.
talk to them.
Yeah. We'll do it now because he's going. So at some point during the day, you have gone over to him.
Yeah.
Maybe probably while you were eating, maybe on the road.
Yeah.
Should we tell him about the creature that we encountered?
Ooh.
It's your last chance to do it. This is time to retcon in, guys. Any last idea?
I'm gonna run over and tell him about the
We'll get to that after Mithrix's thing.
Okay.
We'll follow the queue. We're British, so we're very fond of queues.
Of course, of course.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely great.
Right. Yeah. So as Merlin, you kind of pull him aside. He's looking a bit like, "What's up, buddy?"
Well, I'm kind of like wondering, just out of character, by the way. Do I need to? I don't want like the entire backstory yet to be unfolded of my character. Do I need to tell him about it? Because then everyone now can hear it right away.
We're just going to. I know what you're going to ask. Do you show him?
Yeah. Well, I know he's in the high level. He's seen a lot in his life, and I was wondering.
I'm
if
going to
he's
tell
done
you
any-
before you make the
Yeah.
decision. You get the impression that he is a very good fighter, and
Yeah.
certainly not in any way whatsoever academic.
Okay, but he does. So I can't ask him about anyone he knows, or.
Yeah. Okay? So you can do that for sure.
Yeah.
However, you get the very distinct impression that you can show him, he's going to not have a fucking clue what it is.
Okay.
His strength is in his skill and his strength, certainly not in his mind.
Okay. Okay. Then that's.
But if you want to inquire about, I mean, what would you want to inquire about? Like
well,
high
just
level?
like high level. Yeah, exactly. Like if he knows any.
Sure.
if anyone- any-
He says, sure, if you're looking for people who might be able to, like experts in that field, I would check the capital. and certainly ask around like the Mages Guild and the various magical guilds.
No, I was hoping he had like a specific name, like I could drop his name.
I mean,
he knows it.
I know some magic users, but they're more adventurous types, not really academics. Sorry, friend.
No problem.
Good luck with that, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go to Burgador's.
I just go up to him and I explain about the one-eyed wolf and how I have theories that the one-eyed wolf is controlling animals and such. Maybe that might have something to do with what he's doing.
Make a insight check. Okay, yeah. He you tell him about the one-eyed wolf, and he just kind of thinks about it for a second, and then says, "Sorry, I've seen plenty of wolves in my time, but that sounds like something a bit more magical. I think it's possible for sure. I believe that you definitely encountered something that's definitely not a wolf, but I don't really know anything specific about this one."
Fair enough, mate. I just thought it was only fair for me to warn you of what you might be getting into.
Oh, it sounds like I'll be able to handle that.
Very good.
But thank you anyway for the warning. I appreciate
Best of luck
that.
with your travels, mate.
Oh, you too, you too. Hopefully we cross paths again someday.
Yeah, you can buy me a drink.
And you me. Okay, so he kind of makes his own way to his own destinations. Derek, similarly, he's here for business now, so he pulls up. He kind of like pulls up at like the central square of the city, and he says, "Okay, okay, everyone, this is your stop. I've got business over by the caravannery. I'm going to be in town maybe a week, so once I'm done here, I'm going to be actually heading back towards Middleton anyway. So hopefully things line up right, and you can use my service again on your return journey. But if not, it was a pleasure riding with you, and yeah, all the best in your adventures."
Yeah, thanks.
Nice one, mate.
Thanks for the help. You saved us a lot of trouble. I'm sorry about the bear.
Oh, don't worry about the bear. I guess it's some cool scars.
You got a new tent.
And he looks a bit like, oh, and yeah, he got a new tent. You saw it, brand new. And yeah, he kind of heads off doing his own thing, and the party of 5 is now left with their giant crab in Winchester. So, where to do first?
Can we look around and see what we can see?
Okay, so Winchester. The first thing you notice about Winchester is the smell of. Yeah, it is actually cobbled streets. Like cobbles everywhere. Real big into cobbles and stone buildings here.
Nice.
Where Middleton was a lot more like thatch roofs and wooden buildings. This is a lot of more stone buildings and slate roofs. Looks a lot older as well. The town looks a lot older. And yeah, you see going sloping downtown towards the lake, you can see the docks and hundreds of little dots out on the lake, which you make out to be fishing boats. The smell of fish does travel from the lake. It's freshwater, so you don't get a saltwater breeze, but you do catch the smell of fish on the wind coming up from the harbour. And yeah, it's a pleasant town. It's definitely nicer than Middleton. Definitely nicer. Business seems to be a lot more thriving. You do see a lot of carts of fish and stuff going past, especially towards the direction of the caravannery.
Can I go and buy some fish for Jimmy?
Yeah, at some point. But is that where is the?
I go to the guild.
I was going to say, I believe your first stop is the guild. The Adventurers Guild.
Probably a good idea.
Cool.
Need that bonus.
Yes.
Yeah, that
So,
bonus.
Asking around, you get directions to the guild, and it's actually really close to where you are now in the center of town. Fairly recognizable building. It does look different from the Middleton Guild. However, you can see the sign outside and the crest of the guild, and you can hear the familiar sounds of clanging swords and stuff from what you assume is the practice yard. Smaller than the Middleton Guild, funny enough. The city is smaller. Even though it's more prosperous, it is smaller. And you do know that Middleton did used to be itself quite a prosperous town. You make your way into the main hall of the guild. And there's a fair amount of people in here. You spot maybe 20 people coming and going. A notice board which, definitely compared to the Middleton Guild, several notices posted on it. You see what you assume to be the guildmaster is a middle-aged female gnome, upsat on the counter, like the main desk, chatting to two well-armored, plate mail-wearing individuals.
Okay.
You believe this woman to be Lala Winklepip, who you were instructed to. I love knowing
Of course she is.
That's fantastic.
The guild mistress that you were told to report to.
Lala Winklepip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just checking.
Is there something weird about that?
No.
Like, fun?
Just checking. Just checking.
It's a fairly common sounding. A lot of little folk have whimsical names. You never got his name, but apparently the gnome who was egging on the fight back in Allsworth was named Laddie. Nicknamed Laddie.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So we
What are you
wait
doing?
until she's finished talking to these two.
Yeah, that doesn't take too long. They go off past you, out the door, seemingly on their own business, and she is now free. She eyes the whole party and kind of beckons you over.
I introduce myself.
Okay, I assume you all kind of
Do it.
introduce
Yep.
yourselves.
Yeah.
And she's like, excellent. The new batch from Middleton's arrived. Perfect. How's the road?
Bad.
Bit bumpy in places. Got set by a couple of bears and a weird wolf, but apart from that, it was a walk in the park.
A weird wolf?
Yeah,
Not
weird.
like
one-eyed
a
wolf.
werewolf?
Man.
Or...
No,
Oh,
it's
one-eyed wolf. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, you seem to have survived, so that's the good news. I believe I owe you punctuality bonus. And she kind of leans backwards behind the counter. Like she sat on top of it, so she just kind of stretches backwards and fetches out 5 small purses and kind of just chucks them to you all.
Cool.
Why,
How much
thank
was
you.
How much was in it again?
I
25
believe it
gold, I
was
think.
25 gold a head.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
I thought it was 5.
Was it?
No,
No,
it
it's
was
fair.
25.
No, it was
Pretty-
definitely
I know,
25.
I wrote it written down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 25.
I
5
thought it
gold,
was, like-
nothing.
5 more.
You
Hang on, I
said it. Now you can't take it back.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it though. 5 gold's nothing, so 25.
The ball.
I mean, the thing is, yeah, it's 25 gold each.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Nice.
So yeah, you've kind of doubled your starting money a bit now, and
I had 6.
so she throws you your bags of money, and is like, so shall we get on with business?
Suppose so.
Yes, please.
So we have some missions ready for novice adventurers to take care of. I do apologize. Some of these are very much busy work. Some of the less desirable, less lucrative missions. However, it's all good work and it's building up your reputations and your skills. You know, You got to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
So, let's have a look at what we have. And she kind of clicks her fingers, and 3 parchments appear out of thin air with a poof. And she grabs them, and she flicks through each one and goes, yeah, that's right. Okay, so we have 3 missions for you. Seemingly each of them are quite different. So feel free to peruse them. And she hands the parchments, one parchment to, one of you. I'm going to say Kieran, Syre, and Dusty. You each get a parchment. So, Dusty, yours says Direwolf on it. And it talks about how a direwolf has been spotted, reportedly attacking farms along the northern coast of Lake Winchester, kind of close to the Firewood. Apparently hundreds of heads of livestock have been lost, and several farms have been attacked by this wolf. It's like spottings of a wolf have been concurrent, like a very large wolf.
North of the Firewood.
North of Lake Winchester, near to the
Right,
Firewood.
okay. Yeah.
So that's yours. Syre, yours is goodness. It is called Pinchester, and it talks about how a thief has been breaking into several of the nobilities. I make puns with the mission names, by the way.
Nice.
And it talks about how several houses, estate houses, have been broken into, and various objects have been stolen. It's seemingly the town's constabulary was deemed insufficient by the affected families, and they have gone over the heads of the police and contacted the guild directly and put payment down for guild members to investigate.
Okay.
And finally, Kieran, I believe yours is the last one, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, so Kieran, yours talks about how the town of Slumber is being mysteriously affected by some sort of magical spell that is... your mission is called Slumber, and the town is seemingly under a spell that is making it so that everyone in the town is sleeping constantly. People are sleeping for like 15, 16 hours and waking up tired.
That's a big problem.
Yes,
Like, holy
it is.
shit.
It's Lumber, right? The town of Lumber.
Yeah.
That's in Lumber, yeah.
Oh, right.
And whoever
we
it
did
was,
investigate, yeah.
yeah, I believe that a magical field was detected, and heavy signs of tiredness was spotted in several people. Derek brushed it off. However, it seems now it might have been a bigger problem than you first thought.
Alright, so immediately I think Bogador's got it in his head that maybe if we chase after the direwolf, we might find that one-eyed wolf again. So that mission's definitely got my vote.
Shouldn't it be the same?
So, all of you know, direwolves, the wolf you saw was a regular wolf size. It was no bigger, no smaller than any of the other wolves that attacked you that night. A direwolf is significantly bigger, about the size of a horse.
I mean, I still feel like Bogador would have that connection in his head.
You may still have the connection, yes. However, at the very least, the one-eyed wolf might be involved, but probably not the same wolf, unless there's some magic going on.
Yeah.
Probably not the same wolf that's been spotted.
I believe they're in very different areas as well.
Can I just
Very
ask you a
different
question?
areas, yeah. These attacks have been happening over the last a week or so.
Like between
And-
Tripsdale and Lumber kind of area.
No.
I mean, for our ones.
Yeah, that's where our wolf was.
Oh, your wolf was between Tripsdale and Lumber. This wolf has been north of Lake Winchester. We're talking 60 miles apart.
I still think Bogador would want to hunt down the dire wolf though.
Yeah.
He's
I can see that.
beast tamer,
I'm
isn't he?
just wondering, is it possible they should take 2 quests, like take the
You-
dire wolf
yeah,
and on the
you
way
can-
then go to lumber afterwards?
You can take all of these quests at once. Yeah. Some of them have. There is a degree. It's noted that there is a degree of urgency surrounding each of them in a certain way. The thief mission. It's noted that if left too long, evidence can be lost, leads can be lost. That in itself is time sensitive. The situation in lumber seems to be getting worse by the day. Apparently, word was sent after the 4th day, and it's been 3 days since then. So this wasn't going a week, and it's already been reported that it's been getting bad pretty quickly. So yeah, you don't know what kind of situation that's going to be. And the direwolf has been attacking multiple farms throughout the last 2 weeks. Again, who knows when the next time that wolf's going to show up. Each of these missions are, in their own way, time sensitive. And you're going to have to choose where you go first, because each of them are days apart, for the most part. The Winchester, the thief mission is in Winchester itself. So that is something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
I would say, because of how far apart everything is spread, instead of doing a ton of backtracking, we probably want to start in the town.
Yeah, if we could do all 3 of them.
I mean,
I like
Valhalla
Osmolian's
pipes up.
idea of going for the wolf and then going to lumber to try and cure the sleepiness. I like that idea.
I think that'll
Lala
take us
pipes
a
up
long time.
and says, you don't need to hand these quests in at our guild. It's perfectly fine for you to hand in these quests at back at the Middleton Guild, because after you complete all of them, you're headed back there anyway. So yeah, the way it works, and she kind of shows you the parchments now. These parchments are all magical. Once a mission has been completed, if the parchment is aware of the completion of the mission, it will mark itself as completed. This cannot be tampered with. Well, it can be tampered with, but I believe that's above all of your skill levels. And it's kind of it's designed to be easy to detect. So yeah, if the mission's been completed within the wording of the mission itself, it will mark itself as completed, and you can hand in these parchments at any guild in Midrealm.
Okay.
So you don't want to do the noble mission, is what you're saying?
No, not particularly. I don't think Bogador would give a damn about the nobility, to be honest with you.
Even though they might pay better than anybody else.
Yeah,
So
I still.
Just saying.
There are rewards on. You're correct. The biggest reward is for slumber. I'm going to actually balance these rewards because you have leveled up a little bit. Let me
I
just
did like
think.
the name.
Yeah, it's slumber, Firewolf, and Pinchester. So the wolf mission is 20 gold ahead. This one's been put together by farmers, so they obviously don't have the most spending money. The nobility for the thief mission is putting up 40 gold ahead.
Damn.
Yeah, and lumber is 100 gold ahead.
Oh shit. See this.
See,
Hang on.
okay, so I'm not opposed to any kind of plan, but I honestly think Bogador, no matter how big the price was, I don't think he care about the nobility. So I'm not opposed to going on the mission with you. But
By the way,
sure that-
I'm saying, sorry, not just to cut in. I'm saying per head because I assume you're going to split the money equally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also give you flat values,
no.
but I assume per head is just an easier way to keep track of it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll keep doing that going forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my vote is to go and try and take on the direwolf and then go to lumber.
I mean, to be honest, while they're all very important, I mean, lumber, that's a working town. A very important one by the seams of it.
He's got a very good point there. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We could go and kill the direwolf in a couple of days and make our way to Slumber.
What if more people get squished because of it?
I
That's
think
something
yeah.
to keep in mind. Something
I
to
think
keep
we
in
should
mind.
skip the theme mission just because it might take too much time.
These
Exactly.
missions are not to be skipped.
What?
Okay.
These are
We
all
are doing
part
them
of
all.
your. You are all provisional guild members.
Oh,
So we must do these.
oh,
you
you
have
must
been-
do them.
Yeah. Well, they are part of your. Let's call it an apprenticeship.
Okay.
Yeah, you are expected to complete these missions as part of a greater mission, which you have been given from Middleton to aid our guild, to provide extra hands to the guild.
Then I guess it would be stupid to leave this place first and then go to. Yeah.
I mean, if we've got no choice, we've got to
Yeah.
stay here and help the bloody fucking blue bloods, haven't we?
How quickly do you think we can do this?
Maybe if we split up, it goes fast.
So, I believe that you can make your way to the nearest farm, by midday tomorrow. You can take a boat from the harbour, sail up. The wind goes. The wind will probably be in your favour tomorrow for it, and you should be able to make really good time across the lake. And you should be at the first farm within, I would say, by noon tomorrow. Obviously, the closest mission is the thief mission, which is in town. Lumber, I would recommend doing lumber on the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, question. I don't know if you can answer this question, but like, is there a chance we could get this thieves quest done in a day?
Well, there's a lot of factors involved. You're going to have to be going to several houses. In a day, possibly, yes. Hard to say for certain.
Depends how we do.
And remember,
how
it
you
is like 5 in the afternoon or whatever. It's almost night.
Yes.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I remember.
It is still early enough for you to charter a ship, a boat to sail you across the lake. Might be a little bit extra than it would be tomorrow morning. However, you could camp on the other far side of the lake and make progress a lot quicker that way, and then come back to Winchester, and then take the road. Because if you were planning to go from the farms to Lumber, that's going to be very difficult. There's a big river that you would have to cross,
everyone?
and no roads. You'd be traveling in rough country.
Okay, then we go and do the wolf tomorrow. We come back here. We try and catch the thieves. Then we go to Lumber.
Can I have a moment to speak?
Right.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah, I'm just having kind of a migraine going on now. I think I just kind of have to sign off. I'm sorry about that.
All right.
Oh, no worries. I think we'll probably keep going, but I think I might stop it before combat.
You can just like
okay.
assume what my character would do. It's not
Sure.
Yeah.
if you want to.
No worries.
for balance
Take care of
and
yourself,
stuff.
buddy.
Yeah.
All right, see you, Monk.
Get better.
Yeah.
Catch you later, guys.
Okay, so you guys